It was impossible to imagine Liverpool without Trent Alexander-Arnold. The Anfield boy, raised within the very soul of the club, seemed destined for a lifelong career wearing the sacred red shirt. But 2025 changed everything. To the surprise of many, and the utter shock of others, Trent packed his bags and swapped the beating heart of the Merseyside faithful for the grandeur of the Santiago Bernabeu, now donning white alongside the stars of Real Madrid. And the most intriguing part? He left without giving much explanation, no injury, no crisis. He simply left. Naturally, Liverpool fans didn't take it well. The general feeling among supporters was one of abandonment, as if a blood brother had turned his back and walked away without so much as a glance over his shoulder. It didn't take long for Alexander-Arnold to fall from untouchable idol to something close to a villain in the eyes of the Anfield faithful. But while the wound still bled among supporters, the club's management, led by new head coach Arne Slot and sporting director Richard Hughes, acted with surgical precision. The name chosen as Trent's successor? Jeremy Frimpong, formerly of Bayer Leverkusen. And although he's yet to step onto a Premier League pitch, the right-back brings with him an impressive record, no fewer than 43 direct goal contributions over the last 2 seasons, an astonishing feat for a defender. With those numbers in hand, it's clear that Slot and Hughes knew exactly what they were doing. Trent's departure, though painful, didn't catch the club off guard. In fact, everything suggests that Liverpool had been preparing behind the scenes for this moment for some time. And as Frimpong and Connor Bradley battle for every inch of the right flank during pre-season, fans are beginning to see a light at the end of the tunnel. But the real twist lies with Alexander-Arnold himself. According to former player and pundit Darren Bent, who closely followed one of Trent's recent performances for Real Madrid, the Englishman is far from his best. During the match against Juventus, Bent highlighted that the right-back really struggled in the first half. And the reason goes beyond a simple poor performance. It's something deeper, even emotional. He misses playing alongside Mohamed Salah. Yes, that legendary connection between Trent and Salah appears to have left a gaping hole in the fullback's game. The quick 1-2s, the pinpoint passes down the right-hand channel, the instinctive movements between the two, all of it is gone. In Madrid, the pieces are different, the system is different, and the Englishman still seems to be searching for his rhythm. And there's more. Since leaving Liverpool, Alexander-Arnold has faced a challenge that few players manage successfully, adapting to 2 completely different footballing styles in 2 consecutive years. First, he had to shift from Jurgen Klopp's frenetic, high-intensity school to the more methodical system of Xabi Alonso, then at Real Madrid. Now, in 2025, with Alonso gone and the club implementing new strategies, Trent is still trying to find his place in an environment that didn't mold him. To make matters worse, he's competing for minutes with none other than Dani Carvajal, one of the most experienced and respected names in the Madrid squad. The competition is fierce and unforgiving. Meanwhile, Liverpool continues its rebuild under Slot. And it's no exaggeration to say that the new manager is making waves. Known for his intelligent tactical approach and keen eye for young talent, Arne Slot is shaping a team that doesn't rely on big names, but rather on collective performance. With Frimpong showing potential to become a key figure, and Connor Bradley signing a contract extension, Liverpool are well covered at right-back. Frimpong arrived for around £30 million, a relatively modest fee considering today's inflated market. And even if he takes time to adjust to the pace of the Premier League, the club seems willing to give him the time and space he needs. After all, with such impressive attacking numbers, he could well turn Liverpool's right flank into one of the most dangerous in European football. In the end, Alexander-Arnold's departure may not be seen as a tragedy, but rather the beginning of a new cycle. A cycle in which Liverpool, under the bold guidance of Arne Slot, places its bets on fresh ideas and new faces to write the next great chapter of its story. And as for Trent? Only time will tell if he finds in Madrid what he left behind in Liverpool, or whether the ghost of Anfield will continue to haunt his steps, match after match. If Liverpool fans were still trying to digest the painful departure of Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid, a new and unexpected chapter has arrived to reignite the debate over the future of the Reds' defense. Jarell Quansah, just 22 years old, is also on his way out. And the English centre-back's destination is no ordinary club. He'll now wear the shirt of Bayer Leverkusen, the German side that has become a breeding ground for talent and the new home of manager Xabi Alonso. But what lies behind this transfer that left TalkSport pundit Simon Jordan so puzzled? The answer goes beyond a simple sale. We're talking about a centre-back who shone under Jurgen Klopp's guidance, forming a solid partnership with Virgil van Dijk in key moments of the season before last. However, with the arrival of Arne Slot in 2024, everything changed. Slot opted to stick with Van Dijk and Konate as his undisputed starting duo, and, with the Premier League title secured, there wasn't much room for experimentation. The problem is that this came at the cost of valuable minutes for promising youngsters like Kwanzaa and Harvey Elliott, who, feeling underused, decided to seek new opportunities away from Anfield. And here comes the detail that most surprised Simon Jordan. Liverpool sold Kwanzaa but included a £60 million buyback clause. Yes, the club left the door slightly ajar for the defender's potential return. For Jordan, the move seems contradictory. If the club believes in the player enough to secure a priority buyback at such a high price, why sell him now? It's a question many are asking, especially considering Liverpool's current defensive scenario. With Nat Phillips released, Joe Gomez battling frequent injuries, and Konate's future still uncertain, Liverpool's experienced centre-back options are now down to just 3 main names. Slot is even considering using Wataru Endo as a backup centre-half, which is far from ideal for a team competing in the Champions League, Premier League, and other top-level competitions. But there is a logic behind the decision, however risky it may seem. The buyback clause is, in practice, a long-term vote of confidence. Liverpool are betting that Kwanzaa will develop, gain experience as a regular starter at Leverkusen, and if, by 2027, he is shining as expected, the club can bring him back without battling the likes of Europe's elite. This strategy, while bold, reflects the new profile of the club's management under Slot and Hughes. Following Alexander-Arnold's exit and Frimpong's arrival, it's clear the board are willing to rejuvenate and reshape the team based on performance, not reputation. Big names are moving on, but the focus is on developing talent that fits Slot's modern and dynamic playing style, a more collective approach, less dependent on individual stars. And in this new landscape, players like Kwanzaa, despite their promise, end up without immediate room. The solution? Rather than leave them on the bench or send them out on endless loans, the club handles their departures smartly, sell for a good price, keep a buyback clause, and open up space for those ready to contribute now. Even so, there's a bittersweet feeling among fans. Seeing a homegrown lad of such quality leave just when the defense needs depth is unsettling. And when you add that to the already emotional departure of Alexander-Arnold, supporters find themselves at a true crossroads: trust in Slot's bold project, or fear that Liverpool are letting go of players who could be the club's future. Simon Jordan summed up that feeling in a single phrase: "I don't see the point in it, but I imagine it's a good bit of business." And indeed, that's the big question. A good deal, for whom? And when? Meanwhile, at Bayer Leverkusen, Kwanzaa is preparing to be a key figure. With Xabi Alonso at the helm and a young, attacking, and well-organised squad, he's likely to get exactly what he lacked at Anfield: minutes and prominence. If all goes well, he could return to Liverpool in 3 years as a more complete, mature defender, ready to claim the starring role that eluded him now. But if injuries start haunting Liverpool's backline again in 2025, and Slot is forced to improvise with Endo or even academy players, many will be left wondering, wouldn't it have been better to keep Kwanzaa in the squad? Time, once again, will be the ultimate judge of that decision.